What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how wide receivers can get in and out of their breaks in 3 steps when they have to snap down on like a curl route, a comeback route, maybe even a dig route, whatever it may be. But when they're snapping down, how you guys can get out of it in the least amount of steps possible. Okay, so I hope this helps you guys out. Hope it teaches you a few things about route running and how you guys can be more efficient at the top of the route. But also, fellas, if you guys have not heard, we are going to be coming to 9 different cities this offseason for our First Down Training 2-day quarterback and wide receiver training camp tour. We're going to be coming to Tampa, Florida, Houston, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, and then we're finishing it off in Los Angeles, California. So if you guys are local to any one of those areas, we have limited spots. We're only taking about 50 kids, and we're going to be splitting the camp up into youth and high school, so it's only going to be about 10 guys per position. So check out that very first link below. It's small group work, high coach-to-player ratio. Very first link below if you guys want to come out with us for 2 days, get better, improve your skills. Let's get started with this video. So when we're trying to get out of a route, the main thing I want you to be concerned with is that you don't absolutely have to get out of the break in 3 steps, right? This is more like if you're at the top of the route and you're a guy who's snapping down violently, you're selling vertical, you're dropping your hips aggressively, and you're creating energy and you're getting separation, that's fine. You're being a very efficient route runner. So many guys struggle with actually snapping down and actually having that trigger step and being able to drop their weight into a break. So many guys have to slow down, then they drop their hips or they beat the drum, right? And that's just wasted time, wasted movement, and we're not getting a DB to bail out of there. So I would say if you're kind of a beginner to route running, don't focus so much on steps, but eliminating steps is actually ultimately the goal. But I think that on a route like this, like a curl or a comeback, I think the only amount of steps that you could take is 3. That's like the least amount of steps. I think if you take anything else lower than that, you're slowing down. A lot of people will tell me, oh, well, coach, I could get out of it in 1 step. No, you can't, because you're probably not selling vertical. Your body isn't built to move like that. So 3 steps, I think, is the absolute minimum amount of steps that you could take at the top of the route. So how do we do that, right? So the number one thing that you have to do to be able to get into this position, whether you're taking 5 steps, 3 steps, whatever, is you have to be able to sell vertical. And how we change direction while selling vertical is having that violent level change or that violent snap down with my hips. You see how Judy has it, right? That's called a trigger step right there. So that violent snap down, that trigger step, that's what allows you to change direction, because that's what gets you into that low explosive position. We got to have that explosive drop. That's why it's so important for receivers in the gym to work on those like fast twitch exercises, like power cleans, box jumps, anything explosive, because that translates directly to this, right? So when I drop violently like this, now to get out of it in 3 steps, the one goal that you have to have is you have to be able to get your hips out of the break quick. Now, a lot of receivers, what they'll start to do is they'll get up into this spot and they'll start to turn their body before they do that trigger step, that first step, that snap down, if you will, and that gives away the route. They might get out of it in 3 steps, but you're giving it away. If you guys feel like you're getting out of your breaks way too easy and 3 steps feels super easy to you, check yourself. Check your pad level before the break. You want that violent trigger step to change the direction for you, not manually turning your pad level before we actually drop into the break. The second step of this movement is what will get your hips turned. So you got to snap, you got to pivot with the second step, because you see how he's turning his foot. He's almost pointing it towards the middle of the field. That's getting your hip turn. And what that allows you to do is hook your third step around, which is what ultimately gets you out of the route in 3 steps. So you see how he snaps here. So snap, get in that low explosive position, get to that balanced spot, pivot to get your hips around, hook with the third step. Now that third step right there, that's the step that's going to make or break if you get out in 3 or 5 steps. Because what a lot of guys will do is they'll hit that third step, but they won't drive off of that third step, and it won't be a powerful step. It'll be very choppy. And then guess what you're going to do? You're going to take a 4th step, then a 5th step, and then you're going to get out of the route, which again is what most people do. It is very, very challenging to get out of this type of a route in 3 steps. I'm going to make that very clear. It's not something that a guy who's never ran routes before can just walk out on the field and do. And it's not something that somebody who maybe doesn't have that explosive drop, that fast twitch, is able to get out of the route, right? I know I can't do it because I haven't ran routes in a very, very long time. So if I tried to go out there and run this and do 3 steps right now, right on a dime, I wouldn't be able to do it because I haven't worked on it. I haven't built on it. But these are the technical steps you guys have to be thinking about if you're familiar with these types of breaks, right? So that third step, what Judy does such a great job of, is driving on it. So it's snap, pivot, hook, and you're driving, because that drive step is what propels you back to the quarterback, and that gets you to that third phase of the route, aka the acceleration, where you could widen the distance with that DB who's already got some separation from you because you had that violent step and you're out of it least amount of steps possible. So make sure we're violently snapping down, get to that explosive spot so we can stop and come to balance, pivot to get your hips turned, hook around with the third step to push you out and drive you back to that quarterback. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. An inside release, or like kind of inside stem curl route out here from Judy. Great job not turning early and committing to that break to get out in 3 steps. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We'll get back to you as soon as I can. I always appreciate the feedback. Always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, we're coming to 9 different cities, 8 different states this offseason right here. We're going to Tampa, Houston, Phoenix, Newark, Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, Nashville, and LA. So if you guys are local to any one of those or want to travel out to get some work in with us, check out that very first link below. I'll see you guys next time.